Hi guys, Adriaan here from Luxury Time. In this video, I'm going to tell you guys how to accurately price your luxury watch when you want to sell it to a watch dealer. So just here's a few of the common watches that we buy every single day, that you guys offer us every single day. So I just want to give you transparency so you can actually see the value of your watch when bringing it to a dealer, so that you don't feel ripped off and that you've also done your homework before selling it. So the first thing a lot of you guys do when you want to sell your watch, you would compare it to prices on Chrono24. And the thing to remember is Chrono24 is a selling platform. I can also go and list any watch that I have in front of me on here for whatever amount I have. So if you have a, let's say a Tag Monaco, if you go to Chrono24, you have a look at the selling prices there, and then you want to sell it again and you think you're going to get from a dealer more or less the prices that they are selling at on Chrono24, you are in for a rude awakening. Okay, so how to get more or less the accurate value of your watch when you want to sell it to a dealer and you want to use Chrono24 is go to the Chrono24 website, have a look at your specific watch that you want to sell, compare it to the same model that's on Chrono24, have a look if it also has box and papers and the year model, and get the closest one that you can find. Then you have to take that price that you are seeing on Chrono24 less 40 to 50%. I know that sounds a lot, but I mean for these common kind of brands, Breitling, Omega, Tag Heuer, Cartier, Panerai, all these brands, they do depreciate a lot, and you can't compare the selling prices on Chrono24 when you want to sell your watch to a dealer, to the dealer asking prices on Chrono24. So as I mentioned, as a rule of thumb, take 40 to 50% off that price, and then you'll get more or less the region that a dealer is going to offer you for the watch. So if you see your similar watch on Chrono24 for, let's say example, 50,000 Rand, if a dealer offers you 25,000 Rand, it's not a ridiculous price. You must also take into consideration the South African watch market is probably 20% softer than the international watch market. So you can't really compare the selling prices there to what they are selling for in South Africa. And a lot of mistakes you guys also make, and it's not going to do you any favors if you want to sell your watch. You go to Chrono24, you screenshot the highest price of the one available that you want to sell. You show that to a dealer and you say, how much will you pay for this watch? On Chrono24, it's selling for X amount. I mean, as I said, I can take any of these watches here, list them on Chrono24 for 5, 6, 10 times their actual retail value. I'm not going to sell any. So you must just bear in mind the asking prices on Chrono24 are dealer asking prices, and a lot of those guys are also not dealers that are listing their watches on there. Some people are just fishing for prices, so they would put any watch, a photo of a watch on Chrono24 for X amount or the highest amount that they think they can get for it. They will wait for someone to maybe be interested in it and then buy it, not knowing the market, and then they would go out and try and source that watch for the specific client. Okay, so now that I've explained to you on the more common kind of models like the not Rolex, Omega, Cartier, Panerais, Breitlings, Tag Heuers, those kind of watches, you work on Chrono24 price less 40 to 50%. I mean, this is just a common rule that I use that is across all of the entry-level watches that you get. I mean, some Tag Heuers, they do have special editions. Breitling has special editions. Those kind of watches, you don't work on the 40-50% rule. I'm talking about just the common ones, the Carreras, the Super Avengers, the Avengers, the Speedmasters. Those kind of watches, it's the watches that come through every single day. So you cannot apply this rule to the more higher in-demand watches like the Rolex Steel Sports models. Those ones, if you want to sell them to a dealer, you have to work on round about 10 to 20% from the Chrono24 price. That's roughly what you're going to get if you want to sell your watch to a watch dealer. A luxury watch like a high demand model Rolex Steel Sports model. Just work on 10 to 20%. I mean, there's a lot of the date just, and so you're going to lose a lot more. So the 10 to 20% margin rule is just on the high demand Rolex steel sports models, AP, Royal Oaks, Patek Philippe, Aquanaut and Nautilus models. So this is just a little tip for you guys that do want to sell your watches, is go out, do your homework, work on the 40-50% rule on the common watches, and on the more high demand watches work on 10 to 20%. That will make it easier for the dealer. It will also make it much easier for yourself if you actually know what you can get for your watch. And this is also, all this advice I'm giving you, it is all based on selling to a dealer. I mean, if you go sell your watch privately on Facebook Marketplace or to your uncle or your granddad or whoever you want to sell it to, there you're going to get a little bit more. There's also a lot of smaller dealers that will give you a bit more for your watch because they don't have the high overheads that the bigger companies do. So they can do with just a 10, 15, 20% margin on a watch because they have 10 times less overheads than a bigger company would do. So also just take that into consideration. And then the last mistake that also happens often, or more than often, is guys want to sell the watch, they compare it to insurance valuation. I mean, that's another topic we can go into, is insurance valuations of a watch and the actual value of the watch. You can't really take an insurance valuation and want to sell your watch even close to that valuation. The guys that are in the jewelry industry, in the watch industry, they would know that insurance valuation means absolutely nothing. That thing is purely for insurance purposes. And a lot of you guys are actually getting screwed by your insurance companies, because you would, example, buy your wife a beautiful diamond ring. You would get a valuation from the insurance company or from the jeweler for 200,000 Rand. You are paying every single month, you're paying a premium based on a 200,000 Rand replacement. Down the line, she loses the ring or you get divorced and she tells you it's lost. You go to the insurance, you want to claim a new one. A lot of insurance companies, they do not pay you the 200,000 Rand that you were paying for every single month. What they do is they would give you a voucher. They would tell you, go to this store, you have a 200,000 Rand spending limit in the store for that specific ring. But then what you don't know is the insurance companies, they get that ring for around about 50,000 Rand. So you can work on a quarter of a valuation. That's roughly what the insurance companies would pay for a ring to be replaced. So my advice is, if you take out insurance on a watch or diamond jewelry, try and get, if something happens to it, I understand the insurance company wants to put you in the same situation where you were. So if you had a Rolex Submariner, they want to replace it with a Rolex Submariner. But it's not always like that. You get store credit, but then the insurance company actually gets that specific watch or diamond jewelry at a much cheaper price than the actual valuation. So my advice is, if you take insurance on a high value watch or diamond jewelry, let's say example 200,000 Rand, if something happens, make sure your insurance company will actually give you 200,000 Rand payback for the item that is stolen or lost or damaged. Don't just ask for a replacement. This happens a lot in the jewelry industry. Not so much watches, because there's not such big price differences as there would be with, example, diamond engagement rings. But try, if you lose your ring, make sure your insurance will pay you out the actual value of the ring, not just give you a store credit to go and spend at whatever store they tell you to go and spend at, where it would be much less than you were actually paying for every single month. Okay guys, so this was just a few tips on when you want to sell your watch to a dealer, what you can expect for it. I mean, it's not fixed to be like that. That's just normally how we pay people when we buy the watches. A last thing is, do not look at your insurance valuation. I'm also now again talking about the common kind of watches. If your watch has been valued at 100,000 Rand replacement, there's no way you can think you're going to get back even close to 100,000 Rand. All insurance valuations are inflated. They're much higher than the actual value of the product, whether it's diamond jewelry is even worse. A diamond ring would be would have an insurance replacement value of, example, 500,000 Rand, the actual value of a ring like that is probably like 80 to 100,000 Rand. So there's a very big difference between an insurance valuation price and the actual price you can expect. Okay guys, and you've probably followed the Instagram stories. At the end of February, I'm going to give away one tag year watch to one of my subscribers. So please subscribe to this channel, like my videos. I'm going to give away one tag year watch to one of my subscribers. Thanks for watching. Cheers.